Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Ludicolo. So let's go and look at Ludicolo's stats, and they're not incredible, but they're not bad. They're very usable by any standard. That if you look at 100 special defense is pretty solid, 80 hit points with a 70 defense means that we do have a fairly bulky Pokemon. Not the fastest Pokemon, not the hardest hitting with that 90 special attack. This Pokemon is going to be usable, definitely. Looking at its typing, we have Water Grass. Very interesting typing that you don't see too often. You pretty much have like your grass weaknesses, and then water is going to be balanced out by the grass with resistances with ground, steel, and water. So hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we're going to pretty much see that Ludicolo is going to be best used in double battles. That it has a lot of supportive capabilities. It's just a bulky, strong, tanky kind of idea, and it really works out. That with Fake Out, you can help support your lead Pokemon really well, or at least just kind of cause some disruption. Then from there, you have Assault Vest to become even tankier, and then good coverage out from there. Also, the reason why Ludicolo works so well on a doubles team is because it's going to be a Pokemon that wants to just be on the receiving end of Rain. That it has Swift Swim and Rain Dish as its main abilities. Rain Dish is going to make it a little tankier, and Swift Swim is going to kind of turn it into a fast Pokemon that's kind of tanky, that kind of does damage, and it ends up working out really well. That Swift Swim is going to give, that means Rain is active, which means Scald has bonus damage, so stab and 50% from the Rain, and then you have a really speedy Ice Beam and Giga Drain, which is going to get stab and sustain, so really not bad overall. For the EVs, I was thinking that what we want to do is just kind of go with bulk and special attack, kind of mix it around. With this level of special attack, you can one-hit KO Mega Salamence. So that was kind of what I was aiming for, is that, with that 4 times effective hit, you're going to have a lot of one-hit KO potential. You're still going to be very tanky overall. At the Assault Vest, you don't really need to boost your special defense at all, because Assault Vest is going to give you a lot of boost right there. So then you invest into defense, hit points, and now your frustratingly tanky Pokemon has a little bit of sustain, decent amount of damage from the investment we put into it, and a high amount of speed. That with the Swift Swim, you're going to be able to outspeed pretty well, breaking 350 speed at level 100. So not bad. You can always invest more though. That if we look at some other ideas, that you can just go with like super rush down Swift Swim shenanigans that max out the special attack, max out the speed, and just go for the damages. That Surf, Giga Drain, Focus Blast, and then try to make your opponent hurt with that Swift Swim. Now this is where we need to start thinking about Rain Dance Pokemon. Now any Pokemon with a Damp Rock and access to Rain Dance can set it up, but generally when you're running Rain, everyone brings the Politoed. That's ability Drizzle brings, rather the second comes in, so that means you're getting all of the effects, and then Swift Swim Drizzle, very potent combo. Damp Rock means that you're going to have 8 turns of the weather, so in a double battles that's going to be most of the battle, and then Politoed has a lot of strength, good amount of special attack with that 90, and actually runs very similarly to Ludicolo on the stats when you look at it. So you're just going to be able to, chip away with either a nice Scald, go for that burn, get the status in there, or try to go for those huge hits. Ludicolo has Hydro Pump, low accuracy, high power, getting a ton of boost from the Rain and from the stab, so that can hit incredibly hard. Focus Blast as well, low accuracy, high power, good amount of coverage brought to the table from there. And even with Giga Drain, like you can go for that sustain, or you can just go for the higher hit in Energy Ball, just try to coverage out from there. Also, since it is double battles, you can maybe sacrifice the move that you don't like so much. Like, Surf is going to be really useful because it hits all of the opponents. So that way you can even have a Pokemon that's using Rain Dance with the Water Absorb ability. Vaporeon comes to mind with this, or any Pokemon with Water Absorb can work well. That way you're healing them up, you're already setting your Rain, and then you're working from there, and you're hitting both of your opponent's Pokemon. So if you don't want to do that, you can give up one of these for Protect, Fake Out, that way you can keep your setup going, or you can just kind of go with something like this. Also, if you're not running the Assault Vest, Leftovers is a perfectly viable option that people will go like, Leftovers Rain Dish. You're getting an eighth of your health back every turn while being disruptive. That means your opponent's going to have to throw some attacks down at you at some point, which means now your Sweeper is going to get free rain, or your Ludicolo is just going to kind of run a little rampant, and it can work out for both ways. So this kind of becomes like not the most threatening beat you down Pokemon, but it's something that you have to pay attention to, that this Pokemon needs to get off the field because it's throwing out supers, it's throwing out Scalds and burning your opponent, and it's just providing disruption. Also, it gets access to Teeter Dance. Now here's where it starts to get a little interesting, is that with Teeter Dance, it confuses all Pokemon, so that includes your ally, which means you're either going to need to Protect on your ally, like first turn, throughout the Teeter Dance, go for Protect. Now, both of your opponents are potentially confused. You're a very tanky Pokemon providing a lot of disruption, and then you can just get health and sustain back from there while your other Rain Sweeper is doing work. Can even go with like a Trick Room idea is what I was thinking, that on the other end of the spectrum you can just have like Sassy Nature and the tanky setup, so something like this with the Sassy Tanky setup, and then go into Trick Room with something like a Slowbro, have it bring its own rain, go into the Teeter Dance, Slowbro has own tempo, and then you can Mega Evolve for the Shell Armor. And I was just thinking, like, there's a lot of comboing here. So pretty much, if you're running a rain team, and you're running doubles specifically, Ludicolo is going to be an incredible Pokemon that many people have used because of its versatility. It can be a tank, it can be a sweeper, it can play a little bit of both, and it just provides a lot of just awesomeness to a team that it wants to be in rain. So when you put it in rain, it becomes happy, starts dancing around, and then you go and win some battles. Now, it is very straightforward that generally you're going to see it with a Politoed with a rain Pokemon, so it does become a very predictable Pokemon, but still a very frustrating Pokemon at the very least. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that's how you use Ludicolo.